As you've probably heard by now, Ngannou just took boxing heavyweight champ Tyson Fury the distance in a surprisingly competitive fight last weekend. And now, the head of the PFL, Don Davis, is apparently in talks to set up a Ngannou versus Wilder MMA battle. Wilder said that Francis should have to prove himself in boxing first before stepping into an MMA cage. But let's be real, this isn't some tomato can boxer we're talking about here. Francis has years of high-level striking experience against some of the baddest heavyweight killers in mixed martial arts sports history. Not to mention, he just went 10 rounds with the best heavyweight boxer in the world and left the match as the People's Champion. Imagine that, against the Gypsy King, who's been the People's Champion for almost his whole career. First off, props for even considering stepping into the octagon, but this is just taking it way too far. Stepping into the cage against Ngannou is like volunteering to spar with a silverback gorilla hopped up on bath salts. It's reckless endangerment, plain and simple. Some people will say Wilder has a puncher's chance with those nuclear missile fists of his. Sure, all it takes is one clean shot from his right hand to scramble anyone's brains to mush. And we've all seen the Bronze Bomber lay out opponents with a single bomb. But Francis is a whole different animal. He's withstood bombs from some of the heaviest hitters in the UFC, eating punches all day, and smiling with bloody teeth, asking for more. That man is a genetic freak of nature built in a lab specifically to dismantle human beings with his bare hands. Just picture Francis grabbing a hold of one of Wilder's spindly chicken legs and dumping him on his head. It would look like one of those National Geographic videos where the lion takes down the gazelle. A bloody, violent dismantling. You gotta figure Francis will immediately drive Deontay to the mat with a double-leg takedown that registers on the Richter scale. We could be talking suplexes, slam dunks, the whole highlight reel of wrestling moves to smash Wilder into the canvas. At that point, the Bronze Bomber transforms into the wet noodle. Once on the ground, Ngannou goes to work with vicious ground and pound, bashing Wilder's face in like he's tenderizing a steak for the grill. It's going to get ugly fast. The sad truth is, Deontay doesn't stand a snowball's chance in the hot place against Francis in an MMA fight. Trying to strike with a world-class boxer is one thing, but getting locked in a cage with a killer like Ngannou, that's just asking to be sent home in a body bag. But if we were to talk boxing, though, this hypothetical matchup actually intrigues me, mostly because it gives the Bronze Bomber a chance to flash that dynamite right hand of his. In an MMA fight, Wilder wouldn't get close to touching Francis before getting ragdolled. But in the boxing ring, Ngannou can't rely on his wrestling or leg kicks. He'll have to be on point protecting that gas tank and chin. If Deontay can weather the early storm, he could find an opening for a knockout blow. That's a big if, though. Ngannou looked sharp, going the distance with Fury. His boxing technique was impressive, and his gas tank held up. If that same disciplined Ngannou shows up against Wilder, it could be lights out quick. So in summary, I gotta favor Ngannou's crushing power and improving skill set over 12 rounds. But a boxing match does give Wilder his best shot at an upset. That eraser of a right hand makes him live under any rule set. Just don't blink, because someone's getting separated from their consciousness if these two titans ever trade leather. I could talk about hypothetical matchups all day, but that ends today's video. Until next time, be sure to subscribe to the channel for what you need to know in the fight and martial arts world.